listening to Data Zen Podcast, and my name is Alex.
And my name is Volga.
Yeah, and today is a new episode, and again a new very interesting topic. We are Data Zen team. We are organizing events, but today we will talk with you, with people who are listening to us and joining our events. And our guests today are folks who joined really big number of events, and but yeah, let them speak for themselves. So yeah, Christina, please introduce yourself. Yeah, and how many events have you visited?
Hello, my name is Christina and I'm data quality engineer. I've been with the PAM for almost 2 years, and this year I visited 8 events.
Yeah, great. Nastya.
Hello, my name is Nastya or Anastasia. I'm also a data quality engineer at EPAM, and actually, I don't count events. I register a lot of almost all events, especially data community, and try to attend them. And as you said, we are folks that attend a lot of, and some of them are still in the queue for watching.
Yeah, thank you, Alexei.
Yeah, hello, I'm Alexey, and I've been working at EPAM data quality engineer for almost 2 years, and I especially look at the number of events in the telescope, and there were 29 of them.
Wow,
Yeah,
Wow.
you're the champion. You won.
yeah, thank you. And yeah, it turns out that today is a mini anniversary event, which I attend as a speaker. Yeah, thank you.
Great.
Yeah, great. So yeah, that's great. That interesting that our group are data quality engineers.
Yes.
So yeah, let's discuss the first topic, the first question. So are you more interested in online or offline events? So what is like more interesting for you and more
And
maybe
have you ever
efficient?
visited offline event? I wonder.
Yeah. So Nastya, what do you think about it?
So about visiting offline events, of course, I have visited some, but they were like small events, like tech talks, workshops, not so global conferences, something like this. As for interesting online or offline, I believe that all these events have their pros and cons. As for online events, they're flexible. You can spend time at home and watch this from any place, not even from home, or even postpone and watch recording. You have such options. But about offline, it gives such extremely useful opportunity for communication and networking. And also, like a profit, you can spend time out of home. And for some people, it's also essential part of their life to go away from home duties, and be with people, to communicate with them, and spend time fun and useful, and get some knowledge. So I would say so.
Yeah. Thank you, Christina. What do you think about it?
While working at PAM, I have never attended offline events, but I would really like to, because there is a special atmosphere and energy at offline events, and you can get to know each other better. You can have a pleasant smoke talk with your colleagues, and it seems to me that attending offline events brings people together. Although an offline event is more nerve-wracking for speakers than online events, because at online events you are in familiar environment and don't see lots of people.
Mhm. Yeah, Alexei, what do you think about it?
Yeah, in general, I attended offline events, but this was due to my previous work. When I started work at EPAM, it was during the COVID-19 epidemic, and there were no offline events like Christina. Yeah, I will even share that is this 2 year I have never worked in an office. Yeah, only at home. So for me, the only options was to watch online events, but it would be interesting for me to attend some offline events, because in an online events we are mostly listener, and isn't always possible to ask a question online. At offline events, you can communicate with colleagues, uh, hmm, learn a lot of new things, for example, and improve communication skill. On the other hand, offline events required more free time and may not always be convenient, which online participation, you can save time, and if suddenly there is no way to watch on time, you can always watch the recording, for example. Thank you.
Mhm. Yeah. So, but I agree with maybe Alexei. Yeah, that so online is more convenient, but it's not maybe so efficient. So, but of course, it depends on you. So maybe, what do you think about it? Like, is online event always efficient for you? Like to listen and to maybe it depends on you how you listen, but not on the event at all.
Alex, and as a speaker, I want to ask, have you ever spoken at the offline event?
Yeah, sure. But it was like more nervous to speak in front of big audience, like I don't know, like a real speaker. Yeah.
So you prefer online, right?
Um, Now, yes, but yeah, for first time of online events, it also was nervous because it's new format of online, and yeah, so all these platforms, software, and so on. Yeah. But so what? Maybe you can remember some offline events that you attended, and was it really long or was it they short? And what was interesting in them? As I understand, only Nastya was on offline events. Yeah,
Yes,
thank
I
you.
attended an offline event. It was in Minsk office, one of them, and it was a workshop related to Scrum. And it was quite long event for 2 hours or half a day, something like this. And as it was interactive, so we participate in activities. It was workshop, and um, with breaks for coffee, and such timeline was good for such events for workshop. Talking about small events, I also attend one event in Mogilev office. It was a small tech talk for colleagues, only for office colleagues, and it took about half an hour, something like this, 30-40 minutes, with active listening and speaking from speakers and Q&A session. And it also good timing for such small talks. 30 minutes, I believe it's best timeline for active listening, and then for Q&A session, some questions you can ask, and then as you're familiar with speaker, you can meet it after this talk and talk more if you need. But to listen attentive and active, to focus on the topic, 30 minutes, it's a good timeline for small events. But for workshops, for interactive events, longer, hour, 2 hours, hour and a half, it's also good. It depends of the format of the events, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more interested in the online events, guys. How long can you handle them? So what is the perfect timing for the online event? How long can you keep your attention? What would you say?
Alexei?
Okay. Okay. Maybe there are a lot of factors affected this. For example, much depends on the topic and on the speaker or presentation. And I think the format of an event during to 1 hour is the most acceptable for me.
Like under an hour, right? Less
Yeah,
than an hour. Yeah, I
an hour.
agree.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Unless
Christina?
you wanted to say something
Ah,
also now.
Oh, Настя. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
I can add about online also as a contradiction to Alexei that up to hour it can be long time for online event if of active listening, because if we sit and only listen for an hour it could be so long. I believe for to take to keep focus of the listener for an hour, you should be a good presenter and with inspiration to talk about a topic. So if my preferable is 30 minutes, not only offline but online as well. Active listening.
Christina, what do you think?
I'm more focused if the duration of the event is less than hour, because then I start to get distracted and switch to other things. Yeah.
And talking
Yeah.
about the other things, what do you usually do when you listen to the online event? Let's review our secrets. Like, Katerina Schulman, she like likes to draw during the when she listens. What about you?
Often I can join the event during my working day, and then I take a coffee break and listen my colleagues with pleasure. Yeah.
So you drink coffee, right?
Yes. Yes.
To keep you
Yeah.
concentrated.
Yes.
Настя, do you have some tricks how to keep concentration on the events?
Actually, no, just to be focused and concentrate only on one task. Because if I attend any event, I try to focus on them and not touch any other things like work, put it aside, or something like at home, maybe not. No, just listen, maybe make some notes or make, I don't know, uh, get some tricks from presenter, something like this. Because I'm not a multitasking person.
Yeah, Alexey, and are you able to work while listening to online events?
Yeah, I think that's what he's doing because it's impossible to watch 26 events.
This event was during my working day and after my working day, but in general, I like coffee, and during the event, I drink coffee. Yeah, and maybe usually I watch events where I like. Yeah, and I don't know, during the events I haven't problem with concentrate.
Yeah, and I just want to bring some analogy. Yeah, something like TV shows. Yeah, there are some TV shows episode like 30 minutes, and there are like an hour. So which one maybe you prefer? So for me, like, yeah, it's sometimes difficult to keep focused on 1 hour episode of TV show. Yeah, and yeah. So what's what's about you? Yeah, Настя. Yeah, just remember maybe your last TV show or serial that you have watched. Yeah, yeah. So how long was it?
I absolutely agree with you. Yeah, if I remember some serials that I'm watching, and it was 20, 25, 30, up to 30 minutes episodes. And it's most preferable time for me. So I can sit, take a break for this period, and go further with my home task, and something like this, home duties, and so on. Not to waste time for a long to like this fun stuffs.
So you prefer some highly
Some
concentrated.
some small breaks. If we're talking about TV shows and series, yes, it's like small breaks for me, not up to 30 minutes. Not to spend too much time for an hours. It's difficult for me even to watch films, long films, and I am the person who haven't watched a lot of movies, and I even can't talk about them if we are in the conversation about films, because it's hard for me to stay focused for a long time and remember something from this movie.
Yeah, Christina, I think you same opinion, right?
Yeah,
About
yeah, I agree with Anastasia. My concentrated is very good when the length is less than 30 minutes. Yeah.
Alexei, and yeah, have you watched
Yeah, I
something
agree.
longer than 30 minutes?
30 years for 30, 2 hour to 1 hour, yeah, maybe. Yeah.
So I think we came to an agreement that the events under an hour are the best, preferably 30 minutes because longer. And I am also interested. Do you prefer watching them live, like at the time when they're announced, or so if you missed the time, is it possible that you will watch it later, or if you miss it, then it will just somewhere in the backlog, and you will never return to this event? What is your experience?
As for me, I try to attend online events when they're live. But if, okay, it's also the case when I can miss, or I can have no time, or something, take my time, something work tasks, or something like this. And in such case, I save this event, save this recording for later watching. I have such folder for later watching, save for future, and I back to this folder and try
You're
to.
actually the person who comes to this folder, opens it, and
Yeah.
watches.
Yeah.
Anastasia has backlog. Yeah. Mm,
And you guys,
Depending of the load of the project, I mostly try to watch live. But but I can miss the event, and as usual, I don't see it later. I don't have backlog as Anastasia, but it's a very good idea for me, I think.
Yeah, Alexei, and
Yeah,
you?
and I usually watch online because for me, live event maybe have I don't know, special atmosphere. Okay, interesting atmosphere, but from time to time I see events in the record, and I use maybe I watch this event increase speed for
interesting.
economic time. Yeah.
Yeah, I also.
It sounds funny, right? Increase speed like in 2 times. It's sometimes funny.
Yeah, and we recently discussed in our community like these watch later lists. So usually we add them, we add like a new video there, but never watch them. So we so we discussed
But
how
we have
long.
an exception, Anastasia, who was watching actually.
Yeah, and how long is your watch later list? Yeah.
Not so long for now. So but I don't know what is long. What is long list?
just watch. Okay.
I can count like about 10 videos in my queue to watch. I don't know, it's long or not long.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I'm on all of the events.
Yeah, and yeah, just regarding this topic, I've read such an opinion that, for example, if you have an event, have a video that you think that I have to watch it, so it's very important for me, but it's quite boring. Then you can just watch it in increased speed, so something like watch for to make a tick, like okay, I watched it. Yeah, but you can watch it with increased speed. Yeah, just to make this tick for you. Yeah, and so yeah, maybe that's such a question. Do you usually like complete these boring videos, or you let yourself to disconnect early and just skip them? So, for example, I don't know, somebody suggested you have watched this event. Yeah, do you usually stay or you disconnect from the beginning? Yeah, Настя.
If it is live event and it is really boring, I actually I disconnect because I don't want to sit and waste time, and it is preferable for me if it is really interesting topic, I can back to this and yeah, like watch in increased speed. To be honest, I remember one webinar. It was extremely boring, extremely. I watched it like 3 times, but I completed. Finally, I completed. And on three, when I watched it third time, it was like more interesting for me. I like involve in this topic and understand what was going in this webinar, and yeah, I completed, and I'm proud of myself.
So Alex, you're on mute, I think.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, Christina, what do you think? Yeah, do you really like uh, so complete this video that you have to watch? So do you like push yourself?
I try, but sometimes I can just skip it. I'm really sorry, but I do it. Yeah, sorry.
Aha, you're those person. Okay.
Yeah, because sometimes, for example, the monotonous voice of the speakers can make any topic boring. And for example, if there is a lot of theory and few examples from experience, it's not interesting. And yeah, I skip it.
Yeah, Alexei, and what do you think about these boring events? Do you like
Yeah,
push
I
yourself?
remembered one event. This event had interesting topic for me, and I have some wanted, yeah. But this event was from studio, yeah, and there are people who are lost in the front of the camera, yeah, and it is difficult for interviewer to build a dialogue with such a person, and it was just such a case, yeah. The speaker was very laconic, yeah, and I turned it off maybe after 20 minutes, yeah.
So you haven't completed it.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
since we start talking about boring and interesting events, so what was the most memorable event which you like think of it from time to time, even now? What was it about? And it was. Do you have one? Your favorite event of all times? Maybe not our. I hope it's Data Zen community event, of course.
Yeah, Christina, what do you think?
Yeah. Since I'm data quality engineer, I like events about data quality, and easy peasy about data quality was memorable for me, and with Artem. Nikulin. I really like attending events because my colleagues often share solution to different problems. Because when we learn something new in course or in programs, we are often told how everything should work correctly. But then at work, we encounter some non-standard situations, and at events, our colleagues often talk about this situation and share their experience and knowledge, and some personal stories always resonate for me. For example, how colleagues from other sphere became to the IT. I used to work in other sphere too, and the experience of my colleagues who also came a long way to move into the data engineering sphere motivates me a lot. Thank you.
It's
Yeah,
very
and
nice to hear that it's our event was your the most memorable.
Yeah. Thank
yeah,
you.
Nastya. And do you have some favorite event?
Yeah, it is interesting thing, but I also remember this event that Christina mentioned is about data quality, data. Actually, it was not useful for me because I'm familiar with this topic, but how Artyom performed this presentation, how he is inspired, and how he provided this information, I listened attentively, and it was interesting, really interesting event for everybody, I believe. But besides data events, I attend a lot events related to mental health and soft skills, and it's also they are always memorable for me as I keen on this topic, and I like everything around person's personality, emotions, something like this, and they are interactive, always interactive events. Try to like touch your heart and touch your brain. And I would say so that's the most memorable for me are those that are connected with personality, emotions, people, mental health, and something soft skills.
So was it IPAM event your favorite one about?
Yes, it was EPAM events. I cannot, it's difficult for me to pick out one of them, but a lot. One of them, it was related to children behavior because it's close for me and helpful for me. Some meetings with psychology also was useful, very useful a lot. There were series of these events, maybe 1 hour ago, so one year ago. It was, yeah, it was EPAM. It was all EPAM's events.
And Losha, you watched the most amount of events. Now you'll tell us.
Yeah, I like
Top three.
Nicole. Yeah, top three.
Top three.
I don't remember. Yeah, I like watching about data quality and Python, but I remember it event about data quality. I don't remember clear name of this event. Kind of good, bad, and data quality. Okay, like this. There was very interesting and active speaker with very structured presentation. And I don't know, this event was about 1 hour, but for me, it was maybe 10 minutes. Yeah.
It's good.
So
I
for
haven't
you,
watched
Alexei,
it actually, so
for you, Alexei,
sorry.
yeah. So for you, Alexei, structure and like a good speaker is important, right?
It's tricky question.
Yeah.
And
So
Good
those vital
speaker,
things.
yeah.
Sure.
Structure, yeah. I don't know. It's a lot of factors, not one or two. Yeah.
Nastya, and for you was like active speaker, emotional
Active
speaker.
speaker, yeah, because events it's people for people, and active speaker and inspired speaker is vital, I believe, for event.
Yeah, Christina, and what's for you like the most important factors for this?
Um, I think interesting topic and speaker.
Yeah, so actually on some presentation training, they told that like good content is only 60% of event success. So you can you can speak very emotionally and yeah, you can about very banal things and non-interesting things, but you can present them like very very interesting that everybody will be amazed. Yeah. So
Yeah, if speaker
audience.
is involved in the topic, it's watchable, yeah, and it's you want to listen them, even if the topic is not so close to you. But if the speaker is involved and inspired, you watch on them, and oh wow, you like the speaker like this topic, and you want to listen it too.
Yeah, and I agree. And I remember events from sport community. This event about what a bad project is. Yeah, and four guys discussed about bad project and provide some interesting opinion, and it was interesting event. Yeah.
So, Alex, you're on mute again.
Oh my God. Yeah. So, okay. I have some another your question. Yeah. So we discussed about these interesting events and factors. So maybe you can share like event format. What was the most interesting for you? Like maybe was it like a I don't know. Was it interview or was it like a discussion or was it like a presentation? Maybe boring or maybe not. Yeah. So uh, or maybe was it like a lecture? Yeah, so or workshop, yeah, something like that. So have you attended like different kinds of events and maybe what is better for you? So Nastya, you told about this um, mental health events. So what was the format? You told that it was very interactive.
It was like a workshop when audience interact into the topic. When they even work with, in small groups, answering some questions, thinking about some um, things that you're excited about. It's like maybe most preferable for me. It's most interesting for me. Also, I remember this such format of lecture, but with kind of meditation at the end, and also about mental health. Also, interesting format when you listen attentive for the topic, you are involved in the listening, but after that you like stay with yourself, lecture, become reach this meditation, and you think about what you listened during this hour, and spend this 10 minutes or 5 even minutes with yourself. I say so. So regarding other events, tech talks, small tech talks, also good option. Also good option to get familiar with experts, with experienced people in this or that topic, to whom you can also one day come and ask some questions, probably. So also good.
Yeah, okay. Christina, and so what events format do you like? Yeah. What was the
And
most
this year,
memorable for you?
mhm, and this year I visited events about adaptation in Poland for kids, and it was very useful for me because the first part was that speakers share their experience, because this girl have 3 and 5 kids, and they share um, some useful tricks for adaptation. And I like this format when the first part it is some sharing experience, and the next it is a Q&A session.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Alexey, and what do you think about
Yeah,
events
I
format?
agree with my colleagues. I like watching workshop, presentation, discussion between speakers. And I like interview, but it's very hard genre, for interviewer, because interviewer need to find communication with speaker. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but if speaker is interesting person, maybe interview will be good.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we've discussed all the good things and we know what you prefer in the events. And let's go to the pessimistic side. What's the worst event you ever seen? So what is really bad in the events? I think Alexey already told us that
Yeah.
once you watched an event where a speaker was like shy before camera, right? And he was closed and wasn't easy going. And what else criteria is for the bad event, or maybe an example of the worst event?
Yeah, but please without names.
Yeah.
Sure. So who can spoil the event is we are people who attend and who present any topic. So for me, as we discussed already, that the most like vital factor for excellent event is person who speaker presenter and for and at the same time presenter can make the event the worst one because so it depends on the person. The person can be a great expert in this topic and the topic can be interesting, but he's not a presenter. So he's not a presenter. He cannot provide information in a good form, in a good shape. And from the other hand, it's a good chance to be familiar that this person exists and exists with knowledge in some sphere, but it's became hard to listen such presentation. Yeah. And it's not bad factor. It's not bad. It's not good. It's as it is. So the person is not a presenter, and that's it. And it is not not to do to do something with it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
yeah, and also besides people, so what can happen? Something, some problems with some technical problems with connections, um, with like sound, something like this. And also it also can like spoil a bit impression of the whole event.
Yeah, Christina, and what's
I'm
your
I'm
perspective?
I'm completely agree with Anastasia, and I think that their speakers is very important. At the events, I like to feel energy from speakers, but if I don't feel it, it's boring. It's boring for me. Yeah.
Alexey, do you have something to it?
Yeah, I agree about speaker and maybe about topic, because not only topic, about opening up topic. For example, if I getting beginning knowledge from event, it's not interesting for me. Yeah, but if I getting advanced knowledge, it's interesting.
Yeah, and
So, should be something new. You have to learn
Yeah,
something new for yourself.
yeah,
So if it's just repetition of what you already heard, it's not interesting.
yeah.
I heard such an opinion that it's very important to add a slide like about me, where the presenter can share like his like share his importance and importance for all attendees to listen to the speaker. Something like, for example, if you are talking about technical event, that, for example, it can be like a super mega architect. So and maybe so how is it important for you maybe to so do you feel like that if you attended an event with super mega expert, that it will be really valuable and helpful for you, or it's not a rule? Yeah, what do you think?
I didn't get the question. Do you mean that even if the topic is already known, but the presenter is a great expert in this area,
So yeah,
that
you have to listen to it, yeah, and you will
so
like you will feel that it will be really helpful. Or it can be also boring even if a speaker is like a super architect.
As I said, probably if this super expert is not a presenter, it cannot present information like inspired or involve audience into the topic. It can be boring as well. So, but when you was talking about like slide of presentation, I'm a super expert. I'm be here and here. It's already like set a line of quality, and you expect high quality of the further event, but it cannot be an actual result of this expectation. So probably it's not a good option to like describe yourself. So from I don't know how to say, from this.
So you mean that
all regards that you have on the event, because
so you mean you mean that if a speaker is like a super pooper architect, so you already as a listener you set to this level and you expect that
high quality of this, it's,
yeah. Christina, what do you think? Like, is it important for you, like, to see this importance of a speaker?
I'm not sure because I agree with Anastasia, but I really like when the people share personal stories, not only their achievements. That's interesting for me.
Yeah, Alexey, do you have anything?
Yeah,
in mind?
it depends on maybe topic of event. If I want to watch a high-level expert, and if I want to get additional knowledge, maybe it's important, like architect, for example. But in general, maybe a speaker need to provide interesting things, not only about topic, only about I don't know, life experience in IT, for example.
Okay, yeah, sharing real experiences is important. Let's maybe move to the next question. So where do you usually find event announcements? So maybe you visit page, so maybe you just wait for those emails, or so where do you find them?
everywhere.
Yeah, maybe
It's hard to me. It is hard to miss an announcement because you have email boxes, Teams channels. Also, what else? If we subscribe on YouTube channels, we also can get this announcement on our phone, and there is no chance to miss them.
Yeah, usually it's hard to miss them, but it can grow your watch later list. Yeah, because
Exactly.
too much.
Yes, it can be the case. Yeah.
Yeah, Alexey, what do you think? You visited so many events.
regarding EPAM events, I subscribe to different communities, and they send me a list of upcoming events. And like Anastasia, I get announcement from Teams groups, and yeah, but mostly it's email. Yeah.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Christina, do you have some channels?
Yeah, I'm also subscribed to their community channel in Telegram. Yeah, and
Oh,
usually find event then.
oh, interesting. Yeah.
Good option.
And
I didn't
yeah.
subscribe.
Yeah.
Subscription
Yeah.
in Telegram. Telegram is good.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, and I have one more question to discuss. So, usually after events, we send feedback survey, yeah, just to get some feedback from our audience. Yeah, and how often do you feel it? So, do you do you really feel it? Yeah, or don't you, or maybe yeah, only if you have something to say, or maybe yeah. So,
Only if I
okay.
have something to say, but so sorry. It really not often. No, it's rare thing for me to send feedback. And I like to put some pleasant words as well for speaker, but not so often. Not so often. Yeah.
Yeah, Christina, and how often do you feel
Yeah,
surveyed?
yeah. If the topic is very interesting for me, I will feel the I will feel my opinion, and I really like to click the button, say thank you for the speakers. I usually do it.
Oh, great. Yeah, Alexey, and you?
From my side, maybe 50-50. I mean, yeah, if the event was interesting, maybe I will send feedback, or very not interesting, yeah. But usually, okay, in 50% I skip, yeah, unfortunately.
Okay. Okay, next time we will understand that your feedback is, if you leave feedback, then event is really great.
Okay, yeah.
Uh, yeah, great. I think we discussed, yeah, all my questions from the list. Yeah. So, yeah, thank you very much that you have joined this like podcast. Yeah, and we discussed this interesting topic. Yeah, hope you will still join our events. Yeah, thank you very much, those who listen us. Subscribe to our all social networks and yeah, to keep updated. Yeah, thank you. Bye.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Yes,
You're
Thank
nice to
thank
see
you,
you.
and Happy New Year,
Thank,
yeah.
Thanks.
thank you.
you.